Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of No More Kids in Scientology. No More Kids in Scientology, you guys. And in this exact episode, we wanted to take up a building dedicated to the sole purpose of the building existing is for them to nab underage kids and get them ensnared in their Scientology stuff. So this is called the Mace Kingsley group. So Mace Kingsley group is not a Sea Org group, you guys. It's a profit. It's a for-profit group that literally does only audit children. That's the only reason it exists. So under the guise of promoting well-being and personal growth for children, which is a chilling testament of the insidious exploitation perpetrated by Scientology. Auditing children is a practice touted by Mace Kingsley that amounts to nothing short of psychological manipulation and abuse. It is a gross violation of the trust parents place in institutions that claim to care for children, except Scientology parents, that it's your due diligence that it's missing as you're handing over your children to said institutions. So really double check on who you are turning your kids over to, Scientology parents. Double check on that very, very quickly. Scientology's auditing processes involve invasive questioning, you guys, as we've talked about, torturous techniques that can be and were deeply harmful to us when our minds were so young and impressionable. Contrary to adult belief in Scientology, hotel and commercial buildings, children are not adults. The role-playing exercises, so-called ethics handlings endorsed by Mace Kingsley and sold by Mace Kingsley to parents are not merely inappropriate. They are, in fact, dangerous. These practices cause severe emotional, psychological damage, conditioning children to accept abusive behaviors and suppress their genuine emotions. So, what type of parent would you have to be to really be paying for your child to normalize abusive behaviors and normalize for your underage child to suppress real emotions that you get as a result of being abused? The very foundation of these activities is built on manipulation and control, designed to indoctrinate rather than nurture. There is no nurturing going on between Scientology parents and children, you guys. And for that, we are sounding the alarm code red. We couldn't be more disgusted. We couldn't be more nauseated to understand firsthand how all of these abuses are being carried out with a full, straight face. Parents must be vigilant and protect their children from being ensnared by Scientology via Mace Kingsley. The facade of care and development masked as a darker reality where children are groomed and conditioned in ways that stifle their natural growth and well-being. The activities promoted on this website, the Mace Kingsley website, should be condemned and prohibited. Safeguarding the innocence and mental health of the youth who, very contrary to their parents' beliefs, are not adults in small bodies. In a world where safety and development of children should be paramount, Mace Kingsley stands as a stark reminder of the lengths to which Scientology will go to impose itself on underage kids. Let us not allow these harmful techniques to go unchecked. Protect the most vulnerable and ensure that no child is subjected to the dangers posed by Scientology's exploitive practices. Scientology parents deserve to be transparent with everyone as to what they have endorsed and who has been victimized as a direct result of that endorsement. So, right as we see that, guys, that takes us to the Facebook page of Mace Kingsley, so we can really analyze the receipts. And because this video has been requested by a lot of you guys that had been wanting to really understand with a little bit more in-depth analysis of what goes on and what is Scientology really promoting and how is it doing it, and how is it that so many Scientology parents are, as you can see in this photo, this literal mother bringing her child, turning over her child. Once that exact door closes, you guys, this child is at the behest of some grown-ass man or woman inside of this commercial building that it's going to do everything to that child that they feel like doing. Literally, like everything that L. Ron Hubbard said would be a great idea, they have full reign on. Imagine that. So let's just really start actually with that. So Mace Kingsley, Family Center International. So right there, Clearwater, 900 Grove Street, Clearwater. So this is where they're operating internationally. Out of Clearwater is where Mace Kingsley is. And here you guys go. This is their new go-to. Okay, you guys, I really definitely notice how Scientology all of a sudden is erasing what they're completing. All of a sudden it's actually erasing the names because they want to promote. They want to use children, don't get me wrong. They want to use children to, really lure more people to bring their children, right? But now they're going with, let's really erase the name out of there. And this certificate of completion, that is completely non-standard, you guys. This is they're covering their literal, you know what. So they don't even want to say what they're completing anymore, apparently. Here's one of our pre-clears with her auditor. We have the cutest pre-clears and the best auditors. So you see the age of this gross woman here. This is a woman that takes all the liberties imposed on her by the power of L. Ron Hubbard, by the power of convicted felon L. Ron Hubbard, locking that child up, including but not limited to locking that girl up in a room inside of that building that you all just saw, to audit them, to really get the aberrations out of the child. L. Ron Hubbard tells you that you're aberrated since you are a child. There's already something wrong with you. The minute you're born, imagine you come with a case, you come with evil purposes, you come with service facsimiles, you come with engrams, you come with all of these disgusting things that they're selling. These people are selling from reading the books of L. Ron Hubbard. So here's, just so you guys can start seeing, this is 3 hours ago. This is 3 hours ago for all the people that are like, well, but does it even really happening to kids anymore, you guys? I mean, I'm sure that after everything you've heard, it's still not going on to kids. 3 hours ago, this child is posted on their Facebook. They have no shame. And this is why they're posting it, right? Because this is their promo and marketing. Let's get more people marketed to. Let's get it more normalized to kids. How many more kids can we get inside of this Mace Kingsley Family Center International? And what did he finish? Oh yeah, current auditing program. The hell is a current auditing program? So they must have gotten smart, you guys, and they don't want to say security check. Just completed security check. Just completed Joburg confessional. Just completed getting asked if he's ever done anything perverted and not told anyone about it. I mean, imagine this is the type of completions and the type of age. So for all of you who are still wondering if kids are at risk, imagine that YouTube throttles our lives down to nothing because of the subjects that we're covering. We're literally at 25, you guys. Imagine that the entire of Scientology's withhold is right here. Imagine these are the receipts that everyone is poking their eyeballs out of. Everybody wants to cover Scientology. Everybody wants to be interested about Scientology, but nobody wants to understand the problem. Right? Because how many people really want to sit here and stomach these type of facts? YouTube certainly doesn't want us to. YouTube is definitely working against us doing so. So just keep your eyes open to just the level of corruption being imposed. All the subjects that have to do with advocating for kids. Who does this girl have as an advocate inside of those hotels and commercial buildings? Somebody that just completed something May 15th at 1:14. She just finished her program at Mace Kingsley. Congratulations and well done. Congratulations. These two children finished their auditing programs on Friday, May 3rd. Congratulations and well done. More. Look at the ages of these children, you guys. Where is the problem of Scientology? I mean, imagine that all the FBI would have to do is look at this Facebook group with a straight face. And you see how all of their certificates have now become these generic certificates so that, you know, they don't want to get caught saying what they're really doing to the kids. So it's just a current auditing program. That's what they're going with. We just completed his auditing program. Congratulations and well done. Will you see the size of these children, you guys? I mean, we're not even talking preteens. We're talking like real preteens. We're talking like, how old can this possible child be? Well done. Congratulations. Mother's Day brunch, hosting a Mother's Day brunch. Oh, we're starting the Purification rundown up again. We'll be starting in May and August. If you want to start your child on the Purif, let us know. The priority of the Purification rundown for the children. The Purification rundown is the first major step of the bridge to total freedom. Ron says that the end phenomena of the program is freedom from the stimulative effects of drug residuals and other toxins. What type of drug residuals or other toxins are really involved in a childhood where we were told not to even take an aspirin, even if we had 104 fever? Oh, don't take an aspirin. That's a drug. So just suffer through your fever, get a touch assist. So what type of drugs are really being purified out of children? Natasha Hogg, Deputy Director of Processing, Mace Kingsley. A new study has confirmed that a mother being the equivalent to working 98 hours a week. That's the same as working 2.5 full-time jobs. Researchers also found on average mothers start time at 6:23 a.m. and ends at 8:31 p.m. That's 14 hours a day. So take a very well-deserved break without feeling guilty. Did you hear that, guys? So, oh, look, they went through a whole period where they stopped really promoting all the kids that were completing whatever in the hell it is that they're selling in here. Tips for Halloween.
It's one of the things that parents most commonly ask us about around this time of the year is how to handle all the sugar that their kids have on Halloween. And
oh, not the sugar communication. Again, you guys, imagine that our Scientology parents were lured by these people that acted as these big, like, child, like, oh my God, let me tell you about sugar. Don't you know about sugar and children? Oh my God, let me tell you what L. Ron Hubbard wrote down on a piece of paper about sugar and children. Yeah. Yeah, kids don't, that's exactly the point, right, guys? It's kids. None of these kids actually do ask to be here. None of them. None of them do. You are brought there. As a child, I remember feeling always ill whenever we were in any of these centers with these people. It's like always was this disgusting feeling inside of you because they're just a bunch of like weirdos. And we didn't understand because, again, they made it not stranger danger. They made it look like we are all just part of this big collective. Open source advocate. I know engineers at Google, they know of your channel. It's definitely being throttled actively. Well, thank you, open source advocate. We appreciate that confirmation because we know, you guys, that we have the most harder and difficult to speak to, and the ones that need the most advocacy have the most problem getting advocated for. So, we brought that up plenty times. Imagine Ruby Frankie got up to 2.5 million subscribers as she was abusing kids on this literal platform, with YouTube pushing that content out. So let that just sink in for all of you out there. Here's their website, you guys. We give children a brighter future. Mace Kingsley, we audit kids. We audit kids. Child processing for babies and children, study handlings and debugs, purification rundown. I mean, as if this literal photo shouldn't be already raising a ton of alarm bells. Why are kids of this age mixed with this other one that is not the same age inside of a sauna? And imagine this is a highly curated photo that Mace Kingsley put out there for themselves. Imagine that Mace Kingsley allows, if you want to be an adult that wants to do the Purif with them, you can go and pay to do your Purif at Mace Kingsley inside saunas with kids in swimming suits. What, did you guys think that they're really going to have a separate adult sauna for the adults and the children? Did you not get the point where they were all the same age in the Thetan universe? So, I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting to see this literally here. Because again, this played out to me as a child being locked up in a sauna with gross, disgusting men that were being very inappropriate with us. Having disgusting conversations that should have never been had. All standard bridge services, social difficulty consulting, ethics handlings, selling children ethics, selling children purification rundowns, purporting that they can really consult on social difficulty. How do they consult? By putting the child who's having a problem in front of another child. And then they tell the other child, oh, you know what? She's having a problem being told that, that she's ugly. So flatten that button. So now she's going to have a child yelling at her nonstop for hours on end. You're ugly. You're disgusting. I can't even stand you. And anytime she reacts to being told that she's ugly, flunk, you reacted. Flunk, you started crying. Flunk, you got misemotional. Flunk. Why are children being made to do that? Scientology increases the beingness of the child in present time in order to secure the capabilities of the child in the future. L. Ron Hubbard, Child Scientology, Issue 14G, April 1953. So for all of you who are still wondering if this is a child trafficking conspiracy from the founder back from the 50s, here's your literal confirmation. Was L. Ron Hubbard trying to ensnare children, yes or no? As if he didn't literally write Child Scientology Issue 14G, April 1953, 3 years after the Volcano book. L. Ron Hubbard was already at it, pitching Scientology to children. So let that fully sink in for all the idiots that have covered this subject and haven't been able to connect a shred of dot of who the victims are, ensnared in these disgusting power dynamic imbalances created by a convicted felon. Oh, here's their commercial, Mace Kingsley commercial. Let's check it out, you guys. Let's check out how they want to pitch this commercial about what they do. Can I expand it? No. All right, well, we don't need to see it big. Here, let me make myself small.
Hi, how are you doing? Okay. Hi, are you ready for your session?
Oh my God. You guys. That was my literal aunt at the end of that video. That is so gross. I had no idea that she was on this video. Oh my God. Oh my God. Sorry. That really took me by surprise. I mean, imagine my own. There it is. There it is. If you needed proof that in my family, the adults in the family were ensnaring children into audits. There's my own, the literal sister of my father asking children if they want to go get audited at Mace Kingsley. I mean, I remember that she worked there for a long time. I had no idea that she was being used on the Mace Kingsley commercial and that she was the one asking the kids if they want to get audited. I mean, it's so disgusting. Deep breath, you guys. Deep breath. So gross. What is child auditing? Let's have you, Mace Kingsley, pitch what child auditing is. Let's see. Oh my God, 7 minutes. I think we're gonna have to watch it on YouTube, you guys, because I need to pause. I'm gonna have to watch it not on their website because we can't pause it and it's driving me nuts. And I'm still trying to process literal disgusting vomit from seeing my literal aunt there asking kids if they want to get audited with a complete straight face. So let's hear from this woman from her own YouTube channel. Oh, look, you guys, 449 views. Let's see what they pitch auditing is. What is child auditing?
I'm the executive director of Mace Kingsley Family Center International. I think the thing to remember is that children are thetans in small bodies.
I mean, again, you guys. I'm sorry. I don't think I prepared for this video. So yeah, just so you all don't think that we hyperbolized and that we, the children that grew up in this disgusting hotel cult from hell, hyperbolizing that children are thetans. We all really have to remember children are thetans. Okay, guys, let's yeah.
They love being keyed out just like you do.
They love being keyed out just like you do. Keyed out, you guys, is a euphemism in Scientology. And you know what? Back in the day, we weren't calling it getting high, but keying out is the equivalent of being high. When you're keyed out, you're supposed to be like, oh my God, everything is wonderful. Oh my God, everything is great. Oh my God, everything's amazing. I'm so keyed out. I love being so keyed out. When you keyed in means that you're feeling the opposite of that. You're feeling like, oh my God, this is so gross. I feel so disgusted. I feel so depressed. I feel horrible. So here it is, this executive director of this so-called center that really charges parents to bring their kids to be, consulted by this woman that completed a 2-week course inside of a hotel and then all of a sudden is getting full unfeathered access to a child without a shred of license, without a shred of nothing. She just got a certificate that she completed the course of a convicted felon, and then all of a sudden she can have full unfeathered access to a child. She can write down everything she's doing to that child in that piece of paper that you see right there that she's grabbing. This is where all the reports on what's been done with this child are kept. You guys, when we say that the children have dossiers that are lengthy AF dossiers, imagine that. Look at the size of this child and how much she's already been delivered.
They get the same wins from their sessions as you do.
Wrong, executive director from hell that you are. We didn't get a shred of win. We just learned how to lie to your idiots. Because yes, believe it or not, as a child, you guys, you learn that if you don't lie to these people, if you don't tell them, oh my God, you know what, this is so incredible, so amazing, I think I'm so keyed out. If you don't say it like that, you learn quickly. They will not let you out of those doors. So you're seeing the hallways, the literal hallways, where the literal kids of the age that you see with your own eyeballs there. That child's going to be locked up in one of those rooms and is now going to not be allowed to leave the room unless she tells that woman that she's doing an amazing job, and thanks to L. Ron Hubbard, he feels so much better. So just try and make that make sense, Scientology parents. It's for you to defend this stupidity. It's for you to make sense of this stupidity.
My name is Alicia Regensburg, and I'm responsible for the technical delivery at Mace Kingsley.
The technical delivery, you guys. Technical delivery. Everything is technical here. So for all of you who are still thinking, well, maybe some children aren't abused. You know, maybe some children have it better and some people have it worse. There's a technology being applied. What does that mean in the physical universe? It means that if L. Ron Hubbard said on a literal piece of paper, ask this disgusting question, questions being asked, and none of these people, including this idiot Alicia that says she's the one in charge of the technical. So if you really want to understand who's the who and the why, the woman that has no certificates, the woman that went to a hotel to get certified, in 2 weeks she completed a course and now all of a sudden she's a know-it-all. That's what Scientology is selling, shortcuts for these people to get diplomas, to get certificates that apparently, yeah, do give you, including but not limited to, full unfettered access to children whose parents are paying for them to come and be at the hands of this woman who will give herself the liberty to lock up a child against their will. Not let them go if they're crying. Oh, well, we wouldn't want your parents to see you crying, would we? No, we wouldn't. So you're not leaving until you say that you love it here and that we did such a great job with you. Oh, and by the way, let me show you this policy from L. Ron Hubbard. Don't tell your parents anything that goes on inside of Mace Kingsley. Because you know what? You don't want to be talking to your about your case to your parents. That's offline. That's what you're being taught as a child. That if these people are abusing you, that if you hate it inside of these disgusting commercial buildings, that you know what? What's wrong with you? Like, why don't you like it? Like she said just now, kids want to be keyed out and want to have wins in sessions just like you adults. So imagine that we couldn't have been more disgusted and nauseated, but we didn't have a choice, you guys. I've said it on and on ad nauseum. That's why the crime starts with the overriding of the consent of these kids. And no, it's not a thing. It's not recognized by the law to subject a child to sadistic, extreme, disgusting things that play out in these disgusting Scientology audits being done day in and day out. These are the people that are all knowing everything about it. This woman here that's about to quote L. Ron Hubbard for you. So let's see what she quotes.
I want to read you a quote. Ron says, all you have.
I mean, look at the size of that girl, you guys. I mean, please. Please. This is not her mother. This is a random woman that completed a 2-week course in a hotel that her mother has now decided, oh, you know what? Find out if my, child was Marilyn Monroe in her last life. I would love to know that. That's the type of infantile, disgusting mothers that exist in Scientology, that pay for this child to be there locked up with that woman, not knowing what in the hell they're doing, not knowing what in the hell they're asking you. You don't know. It doesn't make any sense what in the hell is going on with you as a child locked up there. You do your best to cope. You do your best to be groomed. You do your best to pretend that you're an adult and mimic everything they say, just so they stop asking you the same question like a robot. This is what the alarm is being sounded on. This is the code red right here. This picture says it all. This video says it all, you guys. Again, this is video receipts. This is literally what child auditing is, according to Mace Kingsley.
Have to know about children is cases. The first thing that a child requires is good formal auditing.
And that woman right there was a student of mine. Disgusting. Disgusting that you're still doing that. Imagine being you still doing that. Imagine you came to me Gisela Mage is her name, you guys. Imagine Gisela Mage as a full-grown ass woman that she was, traveled all the way from Italy to come get trained by me, a child inside of a hotel. And because what? I trained you as a child. Now what? You have certificates to do what with a child inside this commercial building? Gisela Mage. You should be so disgusted with yourself. You should be so embarrassed. You should be coming to your senses right about now. You really should be coming to your senses instead of locking yourself there with a child. Did you see the file that she has on the child before she goes in there, you guys? Let's rewind that so you all can see that she has a file. This is literally my student at Flag, one of the many adults that were coming to get certified by children. Children is all it took to certify these people and give themselves the permission to override the Constitution, to override all laws of the United States. Override. It doesn't matter. It's not called child kidnapping. It's called audit. It's not called, aggravated child abuse, full-blown Class A felony. It's called, communication drill. So here it is. Here's a literal photo of a grown-ass woman coming to a hotel to get trained by a child so that she can complete her 2-week course inside of a hotel. She did her training at Flag, this woman, Gisela Mage. That's her name.
Is good.
See her photo right there? That is her literal name. And what does she have in her hand, you guys? Glad that you asked. Glad that you asked, because right there is the file of all the disgusting things they're doing on that child. Every question they asked, everything they discuss in those disgusting sessions, from the minute that she closes the door, Gisela has to be writing things. Okay, do you have an upset with your parent? Do you have an upset with your parent? Oh yeah, my parent, took my iPhone the other day. My mom is being a total bitch. Oh, did your mother miss a withhold on you? You cannot criticize your parent. You cannot criticize your parent. You cannot criticize anybody. If you say a shred of critical thinking inside of these audits, you are going to be asked if you have a withhold. Doesn't matter if the criticism is deserved. Doesn't matter if the criticism isn't deserved. It doesn't matter. Anything that is saying critical things in a session are being written down by Gisela Mage in the literal folder. This PC folder is being reviewed. You can see it right here. All manner of people are seeing it. Get it to this person, get it to the case supervisor, get it to Debbie Cook, get it to OSA, get it to this one, get it to that one. There's a whole routing in front of it. All of these things is because these adults know what they're doing. They don't not know what they're doing. So hi, Gisela Mage. And yes, you should start leaving Mace Kingsley. And yes, you should be literally asking yourself in a straight mirror if you really should have been trained by a child to be auditing children. If that type of licensing really would go very far in a court of law. Start asking yourself that question and call yourself a criminal attorney quickly too. Ask him to advise you too while you're at it.
Formal auditing. That's from a lecture called Child Scientology of 7 July 57.
I mean, I even missed what the hell she was quoting, you guys. I mean, again, there's too many flashbacks right now as we speak. I did not foresee seeing Gisela Mage here. Again, corroborating everything we've been discussing in our videos, everything we are sounding the alarm code red on, everything we couldn't be more disgusted or nauseated by. I mean, in what world was me as a child being put in a hotel teaching this woman a course so she could be doing this? Because that's the question that I have right now.
Cases. The first thing that a child requires is good formal auditing. That's
The first thing that a child requires is good formal auditing. Straight out of L. Ron Hubbard, you guys. So for all of you who are wondering, okay, but I'm sure that they audit kids different. I'm sure they're not formal with the kids. I'm sure they can break. No. L. Ron Hubbard says that children are really looking for formal auditing, and you have to do it very formal. That's why this is just like the grown-ups, in session, out of session. Never mind that at flag. Every time they move this, you guys, immediately the camera starts video recording something that I don't know. I don't know if Mace Kingsley is recording everything they're doing with the kids. They definitely have rooms that they have to do that because this is part of how they, check their quality.
from a lecture called Child Scientology of 7 July 57.
See, and L. Ron Hubbard in 57 writing all about children and make this all a children activity. Bring me your children, parents. I really know what in the hell I'm talking about, says L. Ron Hubbard, dating all the way back to the very beginning of Scientology. So when we say that this is human child trafficking aided and abetted by the United States government for the last 74 years, we are not kidding you. We are not kidding you. All of these quotes are available for all the idiots at the FBI Crimes Against Children unit that sit there and go, oh, but you know what? That's got to be so religious what they're doing to these underage kids in there. I'm sure it's very religious. I'm sure it's very, very religious because the IRS told us that. Imagine that that's what the FBI is going for. Yeah, the IRS told us that it was a very religious thing, so it must be.
You may not know this, but Ron wrote a lot of processes specifically for children.
Oh, good to know, you guys. So if y'all didn't know this, FBI Crimes Against Children unit, if y'all didn't know this, yes, L. Ron Hubbard, the convicted felon that this woman pays to be a sycophant of. Imagine that. In America, they're allowed, these grown adults, to become paid sycophants of a convicted felon to gain, including but not limited to, unfettered access to kids from completing 2-week courses in a hotel, including but not limited to being taught by kids, underage kids. None of these people are licensed. None of these people have gone to a university. None of these people have any type of safety protocols. None of these people know what in the hell to do. If the child breaks down, they double down. If the child starts crying and squealing, they triple down. If the child has a complete and utter you're not getting out. It's just not getting out. It's just not going to happen. You will never be allowed to leave the room unless you pretend that you're smiling and you're loving it.
And we use all of them here. We have.
So great. So according to Alicia, L. Ron Hubbard wrote a lot of processes and they used them all. All. So for all of you who want to go, oh, I'm sure that never was done to a child. Well, according to Alicia, it's all done. All of them.
Have many auditors who are drilled on them, very well drilled. They know exactly what they're doing, and they've used these processes for many years.
Did you guys catch that? Very well drilled. Very well drilled. In order to get unfettered access to a child's body and mind, all they are required to do is to grab a doll and drill it with a literal doll. That's it. That's all that's required. Drill, 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 they tell you. You have to drill it to perfection. Did you pass the drill? Are you perfect? Can you technically be perfect? So you're looking at this woman that did go inside of Debbie Cook's hotel, did get a doll, did get told the ABC of the drill, and then all of a sudden she's having unfettered access to a child. And I mean, of course, this is not what they're doing in audits, you guys. I mean, unless they're doing on time.
I'm going to read you another quote. Ron says, "The time to salvage a human being and get him out of the past and into present time is when that human being is a child, for he thus benefits from his environment and all of the education within it." And you
Oh, L. Ron Hubbard. When we tell you that our parents were hard sold on making us part of this equation, we are not kidding. Does it suck to be them? Gullible, infantile AF, naive AF. Yeah, it does suck to be a Scientology parent because, yes, if you have a Scientology parent that has no critical thinking skills for themselves, that has no sense of their own perceptions or intuitions, as all of that is overridden by L. Ron Hubbard's euphemisms. I mean, this is the problem right here. You are looking at the problem, and you're looking at the problem that, look at all these folders, you guys. There's all of these files that exist on us. Imagine I got to 100 plus of these files. And this is a thin one. This is a thin one. They usually grow to be 6 to 7 to 8 inches before they start a new one on you. Imagine I have 100 of these. So y'all can start making the calculations. This was all audits done on me as an underage child.
have made it possible for him to think straight early enough so that he has an enormous advantage in life.
Clearwater Academy. So the people that take their child to Clearwater Academy, a Scientology school where the mandated reporters aren't mandating reporting nothing, where they have a nice little clique, a little safety zone. All the Scientology parents that abuse their kids aren't finding any mandated reporters inside these schools reporting on any shred of abuse, because all abuse is whitewashed and, oh, well, just go do a handling at the org. Why do we need the idiots at the Clearwater Police when we can just, go get your needle floated at the hotel? I mean, how wonderful for the Scientology parents to literally, including not only to commit a full-blown felony on a child and then go, oh, you know what? Let me just go to the hotel real quick. Let me just float it up.
Scientology increases the beingness of the child in present time in order to secure the capabilities of the child in the future.
I mean, again, you guys, you hear this, secure the capabilities of the child in the future, blah, blah, blah. It's like you are told as a child, you need to prove your worth to these people. Children are born already worth it. L. Ron Hubbard, degenerate of degenerates that he is, wrote down on pieces of paper hundreds of diatribes, disgusting, degenerate diatribes about how there's many things wrong with kids and really we need to go help them. And all he was trying to do is help himself. And the rest of the degenerates that followed him blindly without a shred of critical thinking skill for themselves, who are still blindly, completely unaware, deathly unaware.
So used, Scientology, without other addresses or assistances, might well bring about world peace. Ellerate.
World peace, L. Ron Hubbard. Imagine you literally write with a straight face on pieces of papers how to convince children that they're fucked up. And then you say that you're going to help world peace. I mean, what type of ridiculous stupidity is this? And I'm sorry, but it's like, who reads that from L. Ron Hubbard and says, yes, that's a great idea, literally?
And that's from Child Scientology, issue 14G of April 1953. So when we say child auditing, we mean just that. We're helping the children to get more strong, more able, increase their abilities, and help them have a better life.
They did nothing like that. You ruined our lives. You locked us up against our will. You asked us disgusting questions. You held us for hours on end, falsely imprisoned, full-blown felony. But with a straight face, this woman just says, oh, we're helping so many kids. I mean, you guys, these people, I mean, granted, this is a commercial, so they're only showing you the smiley face and everything else. These people are highly aware of what they deal with, the type of child problems that develop. I mean, imagine these kids that have Scientology parents, not just any parent, Scientology parents. You know what you can equate it with? Crack addict parents. Imagine you're 5 years old and your parents are just both crack addicts, completely checked out of reality, completely delulu from hell. And they're acting like their 5-year-old should just get up to their level. And imagine that in this case, the adults, your own parents, start giving you the crack. And you don't understand what in the hell they're doing and why they're doing it. But they tell you, oh, no, take this. This is going to help you a lot. This is going to help you a lot. This is going to help you a lot. Drugging a child isn't helping a child. Locking up a child isn't helping a child. And you see the ages of these children getting locked up. I mean, it couldn't be more self-evident.
If we have to start with a physical handling, we do that along with an assist program. This establishes the auditor as a terminal for your child. They really get that.
So when we deliver auditing here, we have 15 amazing child specialist auditors who have been very thoroughly drilled in how to handle children.
So again, you guys, very thoroughly drilled with a doll. So for all of you idiotic, stupid Scientology parents that go, you know what would be a great place to take my child, give them full unfeathered access to, and just have someone just have their way with them at a place where, you know, they drill with a doll before they perform the thing on my daughter or son. So imagine that's where we are with the Scientology parents. Imagine that this woman is not saying that these people have gone to any actual children, anything specialized, nothing. A convicted felon and his rhetoric is all that is being cited as the reason why all these Scientology parents should really be providing their kids here. I mean, again, Scientology, we're trying to literally wake you the F up. If you are too stupid to tell, you know what, it's fine. But you know what, maybe just double check. Maybe just double check so you don't do the same criminal acts that were perpetrated on us by our Scientology parents decades ago, and that we can see still are alive and well as we speak right here.
We have a case supervisor with 28 years or more experience who is one of the best in the world, in my opinion. We have many technical...
There's my aunt, you guys. There is my literal aunt. Imagine my aunt who was a teacher in Mexico who used Scientology to come over here and get herself a visa working program through Mace Kingsley. It's absolutely disgusting. And now she has full unfettered access to what? Underage kids? Because she's really helping them. You're not helping anyone, Catalina Gil. You're not helping anybody. So get that through your thick skull. Right about now, you are helping nobody. You're digging a hole for yourself. You're abusing children. You're normalizing it at scale with a straight face. Double check what the audits do, Catalina Gil. Double check what the ethics handlings that you're selling to children do to them. Because you know what? Yes, back in the day, I didn't have a voice. Back in the day, I wouldn't have been able to tell you jack shit. But you know what? Today, adult in an adult body that I am calling you the F out. And you couldn't be more disgusting or nauseating there, sitting there with a child, literally working for these people for how many decades now? All for a visa? Really? That's all it took? That's all it takes for you to go to work every day so you can have a visa. So you're okay with everything that gets done to children inside of the place that you work for. This is my aunt, you guys. So yes, call her out, Catalina Gil.
Staff who help us with all aspects of getting your kids in session. And we actually deliver up to about 100 people per week at Mace Kingsley.
And look at all these people. Oh yeah, hi, so kid friendly. Oh yeah, just come over, welcome. Please sign in. So in case you don't think that they know every single child that is there, they already have a sign-in sheet.
I started at Mace Kingsley over 25 years ago and learned what I know from Carol Kingsley directly. I will say that over the years, we have serviced and helped so many families all around the world with their children and their families in general.
All around the world. This is a worldwide scheme. So put that on your notes. Crimes Against Children Unit at the FBI. Put it on your notes. All around the world is who these people are really targeting. Children from all around the literal world.
And I'm very confident that we can help you. We have all the LRH tools on parenting and children and auditing children that we can help you with anything that you encounter in your family.
The tools, you guys. That's what they told us. Oh, these are tools. Oh, you're getting locked up and being told that you are an enemy to the group because that's a tool from L. Hubbard, see? Children are being locked up in a room, told that they are an enemy to the group, and they're calling that a tool. And this woman is saying, oh yeah, that's just another tool that we can use, you know, to really get your child's ethics in. So why are 8-year-olds landing inside of a room, locked up, being told to, you know, confess why they're betraying the group, why they're in treason against the group? Why are children 8 years old being told that they're in treason? And you wouldn't know from this woman. You wouldn't know because she's got her pitch all the way down. Oh my God, the L. Hubbard tool.
We had Eva, who had some trouble in the beginning, and she has become more and more in calm. She's more theta.
She's become more in calm. She's more theta. She had problems at the beginning. This is apparently Ava. She's a child. She's more in calm, meaning that she didn't want to communicate. She is more theta now, meaning that, you know, she was before the audits just running around being in theta. And theta is being disgusting. It's being emotional. It's being, you know, abrasive. It's being problematic. So as a child in there, that is how your parents always treat you. You're being in theta. You're going to be sent to Mace Kingsley to get audited until you get your withholds out to stop being so in theta. Look at the age of this child. Why is she being told that she is in theta? Going to the Clearwater Academy, shout out to them, the Scientology school. I mean, these kids have no advocates. When we say they have no advocates, where are the advocates? The parents are not advocates. Their teachers are not advocates. The center where they're coming to so-called get, you know, therapy that are not even therapists are not advocates. Where is a child inside Scientology supposed to get help? For all of you who say, oh, well, why didn't you leave, Serge, if you didn't like it? Where in the hell were we supposed to go? Who in the hell was saying that what in the hell they were doing to us was disgusting and unacceptable? It's nowhere to be found because the advocacy for children has been literally abysmal AF.
more there, and she's communicating, and we see tremendous changes. She has like certainty in her space now.
We were having a lot of
And I mean, see this woman, you guys. I mean, again, this is who they're bringing in. Wonder what type of visa program this other person was brought into. I told you both my aunt and my uncles got their visas through Mace Kingsley. And look at this other woman that also doesn't even look like she even can barely speak English. So what type of visa program are you running inside of your Clearwater situationship, Mace Kingsley? Because that would be great to start understanding right about now, since you feel so comfortable parading around this woman who, you know, I would know firsthand from my aunt not having the papers to work here, from my aunt being strapped to Mace Kingsley, you guys. My aunt couldn't lose her job at Mace Kingsley because then she's not sponsored and she loses the green card and she loses all her shit. So what type of fraud-ridden scheme is really being done on the backs of kids, with visas also being part of the problem?
In her space now.
And again, it's like, in what world is this woman saying that the child is more certain? She's a child.
She has like certainty in her space now.
She has certainty in her space now. What type of degenerate really says that a child has more certainty on their space? Why can a child just be a child? Why does a child need certainty? Certainty of what? Mace Kingsley staff, certainty of what are children really getting from being ensnared in your disgusting rituals?
We were having a lot of issues just with going to sleep, being willing to listen and contribute. And it was like we got home and she was a totally different kid.
We would get home and we would be totally different kids. By the time they were done with us inside of the hotel, you better believe we were different. You better believe we had become submissive AF. It's a power dynamic imbalance that we couldn't be more disgusted or nauseated with. Now that we understand it, now that we understand how inappropriate it was, the level of submissive that these disgusting parents and their co-conspirators in abusing us were all about. Because you're seeing it right here from the people themselves, from the parents themselves. I mean, these parents sound exactly like my parents, you guys. They always pitched it as, oh yeah, you know, they're great now because they're a class 4 auditor. They're great now because they're a clear. They're great now because they're this and because they're that. It's always the same thing.
Things I didn't notice that I noticed after the auditing was that she slept better, easier to reason with her. You know, she wouldn't get grumpy or sad or whatever she didn't eat. And
Great. So for all of you who are wondering if the emotions are ripped out of children, yeah, she doesn't get sad or grumpy anymore. She's doing great. She's got no emotions anymore. She's learned to be an emotionless robot. That is the perfect child according to Scientology parents. You're in a constant state of submissive for your parents. Go clean your room. Do it immediately. Don't talk back to them. You're punished. You're out ethics. Go do your conditions. Write up your overtime, your withholds. Like, there's always a punishment involved with the Scientology parents because that's what L. Ron Hubbard wanted. That's how he liked it. That's what he pitched was really going to help you with a child. So for all of you that have experience with children, tell us if treating children like that 24/7, 365 is anything that is okay.
and she was just easier to deal with, I think.
LRH says, Child processing demands more perfect auditing than adult processing, and therefore requires a better trained auditor than average.
So there you go, you guys. The quotes from L. Ron Hubbard that pitched auditing children, normalizing it. You need perfect auditors to deal with these children. And again, it's like,
Children are people. They have been through some very rough experiences. They are not in good shape.
children are people. They've been through very rough experiences. I mean, again, you guys, if I was not born in Scientology, let me just get real for a second with you guys. If I wasn't born in Scientology, yes, maybe my life wouldn't have been perfect and wonderful and amazing. It's not like I was born in some sort of perfect setting, but it wasn't this. It wasn't getting locked up. It wasn't getting interrogated. It wasn't being told that there's something disgusting with me. 24/7, 365. If it wasn't my parents, it was the auditor. If it wasn't the auditor, it was the ethics officer. If it wasn't the ethics officer, it was Debbie Cook. If it wasn't Debbie Cook, it was Marty Rathbun. If it wasn't Marty Rathbun, it was Angie Blankenship. If it wasn't Angie Blankenship, it was Ann Rathbun. If it wasn't Ann Rathbun, it was pick who had access to us, to purport that they were very senior, to purport that we really should be listening to them. And they couldn't have been more literally unhinged, and they couldn't have been more infantile in ridiculous, disgusting cosplay, stolen valor, military uniforms that as children were very impressive. You guys, as children, they would arrive and we were like, oh my God, they must be so legit because look at their uniforms. But now we couldn't be more disgusted.
Their possessions are very small. Their dependence is tremendous. LRH. That's from lecture Child Scientology, 7 July 57. When we hire an auditor at Mace Kingsley, we make...
Oh, and this is my uncle. So Rigoberto Gil, you too. You're the one that brought all the family into the scourge of a convicted, indicted felon. So you didn't do your research. It's thanks to you that as a child, I grew up without a childhood. So if you wanted to look at who did it all, is right here, you guys. This is the man who brought my entire family, my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins. Everybody went into Scientology because of this man. And now it's there for decades, getting kids involved, getting kids ensnared. That's who he is. Ensnared in this disgusting rhetoric from a convicted felon that normalized abuse at an industrial-sized scale. So you should feel so not proud of yourself, Rigoberto. You should feel ashamed of your disgusting self, doing this thing, making money from it, getting yourself a visa, getting yourself over to the United States by getting them to, what was it, sponsor you?
Make sure that it's the type of person that you would want helping your child. They're the right kind of person, the person who wants to play with your kid and give them what they need, give them the attention they need. And they're very well drilled and very experienced, and they love kids. That's the best part.
So
I mean, we're pushing back. You cannot love kids, follow L. Ron Hubbard, and pretend that everything is great and wonderful. I mean, again, anybody that's working there, I'm calling out my own family, you guys. I had no idea that they were going to be in this video. I'm so shook right now to see the literal man. The only reason I ended up ensnared in this disgusting hotel operation was because of the man that you just saw. It was he who had the idea to get everyone in the entire family involved and ensnared. That happened to pretty much all these Latino families. Not so much in the American families. The American families was almost mostly like the one family unit. In the Latino families, it would take over your entire family tree. So, I mean, imagine that.
I had to go to Mace Kingsley because it's fun and I'd be happier in life. And my auditor's like really nice and she's cool. I feel like a better person and like I feel airy.
When I first came to Florida, I was really shy and I sometimes still have that problem, but I've gotten much better and I'm able to confront more things.
So,
I mean, again, you guys, these bullshit success stories. I was very shy and I still am, but I'm getting better. It's like in Scientology, the shy kids get it the worst. Oh, you're shy? Oh, you're not raising your confront? You notice how she's using the word confront because that's how they normalize you doing something you're not comfortable with. Oh, you just need to confront it. Oh, you're shy? Just power through it. And none of these techniques are okay for kids. None.
how does it work when you want to get help for your family or your child? Usually what happens is you call in or you write in asking us for help. The first thing that we do is we ask you for all the information that you feel is important from your viewpoint as the parent. We give that data to our case supervisor who has all his years of experience. Then we see your child, we interview them and get the data directly from them.
So there's my aunt again, directing kids on getting audited. Catalina Gil.
On what they think is happening with their own life, their viewpoint. From those two, we make a tailor-made program for them, which addresses the things that they have concerns about.
A tailor-made program for kids that addresses what they have attention on. You're seeing what the age of these children is, you guys. Again, why are these children there? There is no license, nothing. They're all, I mean, you all already saw it. The one auditor that we saw, Gisela Mage, trained by me as a child. So imagine the type of caliber of people they have. Because yes, Gisela, breaking news to you. I had no shred of a literal clue what in the hell I was doing when I was there inside of that stupid, disgusting hotel. So for you to still be auditing is rich. For you to still be, holding on to your certificates given to you by a child is very rich, actually. I mean, imagine being the idiot that goes, oh, I'm a doctor because a 15-year-old child gave me the certificate in 2 weeks.
But also helping you. The next thing we do is some parent consulting for you, giving you all the LRH references that you need on parenting, how to be a better parent, how to handle those things you never knew how to handle before, trouble at bedtime, wakes up in the middle of the night, temper tantrums, all the.
Yeah, how do you handle that? By telling the child that they're going to go to ethics at Mace Kingsley because they're not, because they're being very misemotional. You're being very misemotional now. You're being very downtone. I mean, again, you guys, all these emotions are weaponized for the children. It is not normal. That's what your parents, you're just being re-stimulating. Why? What's going on? You just didn't get your win at Mace Kingsley. Oh, you're roller coastering. Oh, you must be PTS. Oh, you're a potential trouble source. Oh, you need to go to ethics. So why are 8-year-olds being spoken to like that? Why would an 8-year-old understand what I just said? And none of you do, because they were grooming us through their disgusting euphemisms.
Those good things. We can give you all of those references and help you handle it as a parent so that you guys have the perfect family.
One of my favorite things in my day is sitting in my office, which has a beautiful view of the front door. And I get to see the kids coming in and being so excited about going to the HGC and telling Catalina that they're here for their session.
Yes, Catalina, that they're here at the HGC. So I couldn't be more disgusted that my own aunt is literally still there bringing kids to the audits.
And then when they come out, they're so lit, their case is keyed out. And so it's just them. It's not them with their case, it's just them. And they're so bright.
LRH says, child Scientology could very well be, in terms of practice, the most important single field of endeavor in the science.
Did you guys get that from L. Hubbard? Child auditing, the most important part of this field of the science. What science, L. Hubbard? What literal science, since you are nothing but a lying, pathetic clown? Be great for you to really get that pitch on the 2024 year through some people, because you really should try that pitch today and see if it gets through people.
It brings the child under his own discipline and makes him capable of being what he wants to be, not what he is forced to be.
Not what he's forced to be. In Scientology, that's the thing, guys. That's how they control you. They tell you, oh, we're going to sell you freedom, and then they enslave you. Oh, we're going to let you be whatever you want to be, and then they tell you with a book that you have to be exactly what that book says you are. So all of these gaslighting pitches from this woman, executive director of Mace Kingsley, who sits at the top of this pyramid scheme, profiting off of auditing kids.
At the same time, it renders him less reactive towards disciplinary actions undertaken for his own good and towards educational measures.
Disciplinary actions undertaking for his own good. Aw, isn't that what we were told all the time by the Scientology parents? You guys, this is for your own good to do your ethics. This is for your own great good. Well, you know what? We're feeling a little nauseous about all of those pitches right about now. And you best believe that when we were inside of the hotel, we looked exactly like these kids look. You're looking up to your environment. You're trying to fit in. You're trying to not get kicked to the curb. So all these kids appear normal, but meanwhile, they're suppressing all their real emotions.
Which are provided for his future security. Acceptance will be found to replace resentment of education. Imagine that.
Imagine that. Glad that we ended up with that disgusting quote from Hubbard, you guys. Ooh, well, you saw it all. You saw it all. This was literally phase one of this Mace Kingsley disgusting black hole. And yes, the alarm needs to be sounded. And yes, kids are at risk as we speak. And yes, Mace Kingsley, we audit kids is their motto. So by all means, you guys, all who are joining us on this mission to advocate for kids, we need more advocates. We need more advocates for kids. We need more people to care. We need more people to understand why we're protesting, who is literally being spoken for. Because, yes, we know that they have no one speaking for them, for their own best interest inside of these hotels, inside of their family matrix, inside of their schools, inside of anything. Everything's been kneecapped and compromised by Scientology executives and parents. So it's time to end the reign of terror in having unfettered access to kids. It's time to end the reign of terror in allowing themselves to have no critical thinking skills for themselves and allow a convicted felon to filter their adult decisions that they should be taking a little bit more serious. So all of you Scientology parents, go double check who wrote the rhetoric that you are literally following. Terrified and lost on how any child could survive. Thank you for finding a way to be here and share all the ugly. Thank you, witchy woman. Yeah, it is very ugly, but it is getting exposed. So the ugliness can only be handled with, can only be repudiated once it gets called out. As long as it's being sanitized under these fake website that really pitches that they have success stories and all of these fake things, you guys, nothing is going to happen. How old were you again when you were kidnapped? B. Taylor, I was 0. I was born into this disgusting hotel scheme. My parents were ensnared into the scheme by the man that you all saw there, Rigoberto Gil, who brought all his entire family, converted them, made 10% of anything that any family member was buying, courses or audits or whatever. He was being given commissions. I mean, the whole disgusting scheme is right there for everyone to see. It's really unheard of. Yeah, poor ADHD children thrown to the wolves by their own parents. I mean, and we're going to get into more, you guys, because they also are treating, this just almost makes me completely nauseous. They're treating autistic kids. Imagine the Scientology parents forcing their autistic child to be put through these things. So that's what we're going to be getting into next, you guys. In the meantime, please help us spread awareness. Please help us get more people educated on becoming advocates for this cause, because we need a lot more eyes and ears for all these kids. So I thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you all extremely soon. Bye-bye.